absolutely impossible, incredible. But Kenny Hope, the referee, had declared the game playable, and it went on, and it turned out to be a very exciting game indeed. One of the three cup ties you can see in the programme tonight, the other two from south of the border, with Grimsby playing Watford, and the first game you'll see from the south, York City against Arsenal. But just to give you an idea of the conditions that we came into today, we decided we'd let you see a look at the distant horizon firstly.
Well, I doubt very much if Val d'Isère in the Alps could look more attractive, and I'm sure there's some excellent skiing up there, but we'd like to show you now the nursery slopes, or what is more commonly known as Cappielow Park, down here at Greenock, and that is a surface the players will have to play on, and even yet, seconds before kickoff, they're still throwing sand on what I think is an almost impossible surface. There is hard snow, there is also that sand I was talking about, but unfortunately, ridges of ice underneath, but the ground has been declared playable. And there's a man who was charged with the responsibility, Kenny Hope. It's never easy to please everybody, and you know, Kenny is the most likeable of personalities, but somehow or other I cannot avoid saying that I believe the conditions are absolutely farcical. Well, it's going to be a real pressure day for young 18-year-old David McFarlane, the Scottish professional youth player, making his debut today for Rangers in place of the club captain, Craig Patterson. We're just about ready to go, and one wonders how these players will adapt to this. I think it would have helped if they have studied Torval and Dean. Certainly they're playing with these dimpled training shoes. Referee starts the game, and one hopes for the best, and when I say hopes for the best, that nobody gets a serious injury on this surface. By the way, you may have noticed that Morton are wearing blue shorts today. It's not their official colours, but they've done that to help us to a great extent. Nice overlap. That's a dangerous looking ball, and there is Walker. And I think that may be a free kick early on. It is indeed Dougie Robertson making the charge. Not very clever kick out. There's young McFarlane getting an early test and performing well. Fraser. McKinnon on his bottom. I think they call that glissading in skiing circles. John McDonald. Free kick. But not from there. Referee wants it right back. Ball high in here. We're playing with an orange ball today, so that it is more visible both to us and the crowd. That's a free kick. And I don't think David McPherson could stop there. He just slid into him. Jim Duffy. That's Robertson. Free kick. And I think early on the referee is warning players not to take advantage of sliding in. Back to Walker. Looked away there by Doherty. Robert Pritch going forward. There's a longy shot. It's a great goal. 1-0 for Rangers. 3 minutes gone. And that was travelling with such ferocity that I think it simply swept through the goalkeeper's arms. Just for a moment, I thought he had it covered. And in it went, bulleting into the net. And that is really a tactic that both sides should employ, shooting very hard at goal as soon as possible. Fraser playing wide on the right, John McDonald after it. Needs a quick turn. Played it very wide. Fraser all off there. McKinnon comes forward. McDermott making the mistake. Recovers. Good opportunity for John McDonald. The shot was distinctly on. Cooper. Yeah, brought down, I would have thought, yes. There was a slight slip in it, but it was a free kick nevertheless. Here's Cooper. Just touched down, John McDonald off the line, not cleanly though. And it was Mitchell who went for it eventually. I think he was very keen to put that in the back of the net himself. It would have profited him more on his side if he'd just chipped it across where were 4 Rangers players coming in. 2 teenagers in the centre of the Rangers defence. For one moment I thought Stuart Monroe was going to land a 3-pointer. And I mean 3 points on his head. In the skiing circles they call that hot dogging. Spectacular one. John McDonald leaves it. Fraser teeing up. And he didn't have sufficient footing there to get a clean shot. Robert Pritz. Ali McCoist. Cooper has seen a lot of the ball in the first 15 minutes. McCoist goes very wide, and we'll see just in a moment whether that's a corner or a throw. It is a corner. McCoist trotting back, playing behind the 2 front runners. David McPherson is up. John McDonald, number 2. Well, that is a kind of play that John McDonald used to do so regularly for Rangers. Just a 1 touch in the penalty area, putting it away, but a very good header to him from David McPherson, which he finished off. Not an easy surface there. It is very hard and jagged in some bits, and that is a 2-0 lead after 15 minutes. Free kick and a bit of aggro there with Robertson and McPherson. Oh, that was a deliberate chop there by McPherson. The referee didn't see it, and that was very, very stupid. Well, I've been praising this youngster for the way he's been playing. I don't take that back, but equally I have to say how foolish an act that was. Now, the referee did not see it. I'm looking at the 2 linesmen now, and I don't think either of them saw that. So, I think he's very fortunate. No touch there. It's hooked in a brilliant save. This is Morton's first corner after 19 minutes. A lot of stuff balls being thrown in from the crowd there, which is very unfair, and that's away over. Well, Rangers are apparently going through another crisis, 3 league defeats in a row, and yet, how about a team in crisis with a support like that? Huge support today, legions of them pouring into Greenock. Thousands of Rangers supporters, I would think almost 90% of the crowd backing Rangers today. Fraser. Nice run by David McKinnon. That's a useful looking ball, and a just pass. The lead there by Mitchell. Nice, simple, direct play by Rangers. One nice little touch to the side by Robertson, but McKinnon is there. Youngster David McPherson can't get in, field for a penalty. Loud roars that Clinging had been brought down. No penalty given, and away goes Pritz, or tries to. Doherty. I think Kenny Hope must have put that down to ground conditions. Doak. There's the header, it's a goal. Dougie Robertson, 2-1. That really bothered the Rangers defence. A very good ball indeed. I think Morton might have been entitled to a penalty area, but nevertheless, up went Robertson. Just under the crossbar, 2-1, and we're on the half hour. Morton back in it. Here's Ali McCoist. And certainly in the past 10 minutes, Rangers looking as if they had lost the initiative. Much more of Morton, particularly in midfield. Away goes Cooper, but that's trundling away too fast. Cooper. Straight down to Fraser. Follows up, and there's a shot. Nice bit of play by Fraser. I think both teams should be playing like that. Neat touches, get a shooting chance, and let rip. McKinnon. He almost was caught. Looked very nervy there, Davy McKinnon. Robertson, McKinnon recovers. Now Fraser. Here's McDonald. That was a good ball by Fraser. Duffy covers, makes that mistake. Mitchell to McDonald. Tried to go through in his own. I think should have pushed it away wide where he had Pritz and Cooper. Monroe, well, that has stung Rangers, that goal. Here comes Cooper. Doherty again with him. Can't get a footing. Looked as if he was being fouled, and was. Free kick. What of explanation from Kenny Hope. Seems to be enjoying all this. Cooper. Good ball, McPherson. 3-1. The big man who caused the second goal gets the third. 33 minutes gone, and Rangers, from the very talented head of the 6'2" defender, have taken that 2-goal lead again. Now McCoist to Fraser. That's for the chase. It's not the kind of ball, though, I would put against them. A player like Duffy just gobbles it up. Well, he should have played it to foot if he was going to push it in that direction at all. 2 minutes to have time. Robertson, and I think Zarek O'Hara, rather, being pulled back. Free kick. Cooper was in the way. I think the referee is asking for that to be retaken. judging that David Cooper was less than 10 yards away. He acknowledges that. McPherson wins that. Over the big man. That must be a great save by Walker. That's set though. Clinging. 44 minutes. And that is 3-2 now, as Morton taking advantage of that very uncertain Rangers defence. They didn't quite know how to make that final clearance, and he just stepped in and popped it away. 3-2. A minute of this half to go. Coming at a time, I may say, when Rangers once again looked as if they had the ascendancy. Away to the side, clinging. McCoy goes back, bit of a push. Free kick. Free kick to Morton. We're now into injury time of this half. Mahara putting it down. Pressure on by... And there goes the half-time whistle. Well, having said all I've said about the pitch, we've at least had 5 goals out of it. I think the conditions are just deplorable and farcical, but they have produced a high-scoring game. Opening in the 3rd minute with that shot by Robert Pritz, I think the goalkeeper looked as if he was going to collect, and then the pace of it beat him. And then the second goal coming from the corner. What well by McPherson to McDonald to finish very neatly indeed. Fight back by Morton, initiated by Robertson on the 30th minute with a good header that beat Walker. Then Rangers further ahead with David McPherson playing outstandingly, getting that 3rd goal for them. And then just a few seconds ago, Ian Clinging coming up to make the game, at this stage, looking as if it is going to go to the full 90 minutes before we decide who's through. Well, the play can't be restarted because there's a lot of snowballing coming from the crowd behind the Morton goal, and Murray McDermott appealing to them, taking it in a very good-natured way. Well, what else can he do? But I really do think he should be given some protection. Well, even though it's a snowball, they can be very, very hard. I think it's kind of icy stuff, and if it got too much, then I think Morton would have every right to complain. And to that extent, the referee isn't starting the play until he's quite sure that the snowballing has stopped. Well, the play gets underway in this extremely difficult, very difficult indeed surface. Well, we have Gillespie on now, Jim Gillespie for Morton, number 12. The only substitution so far. Cooper. Fatal slip there by Mitchell. Almost impossible for the players to bring the ball down and then turn, all in a one. Always losing possession. Doak. Go right through to Walker. Gillespie on for Turner. Cooper, more off his shoulder than anything else. Rather loose ball inside, falls well for Morton. Pritz, nice neat footwork by Pritz. Must have played ice hockey in his youth. That's not a bad ball. John McDonald, little slow going for it. Rangers now playing towards that huge support of theirs. Well, good play by Dom Sullivan. Feeds it out very intelligently to the substitute, Jim Gillespie. Sullivan. Morton thought they might have got a free kick there, but that's a very useful ball. Jim Holmes. McKinnon's in the way and pushing. Well, this could be very useful. Almost 3 minutes gone. Dom Sullivan, ex-Aberdeen, ex-Clyde, ex-Celtic, crouching and takes it. Not very well. Turns round on it. That should be for Walker and Diaz. Rifles that one down very well indeed. John McDonald. He's on his own for Rangers. He did the right thing and nobody following up. The play was so swift from one end to the other that the goalkeeper had the luxury of letting that ball bounce from him with nobody in to kill it off. And I think McDonald did exactly the right thing under these conditions, shooting as soon as he got a look at goal. Welsh, first there. Monroe sliding up and now Pritz. McDonald. Break through the middle and Holmes should pick it up. And Duffy turns away. And only one Rangers player there again. Mitchell had nobody with them. Rangers have fallen back and some of the players lying very deep in midfield. A very good run indeed. That's a foul. Yes, Clinging brought down. Well, Morton have started off this second half very aggressively, which is exactly the right attitude. There were 2 goals behind at one stage. And now they're back, bang, in with a chance. Gillespie, McCoy's. McDonald, it's wide, loose, and there's a mistake. All nicely back. Rangers boarded that ball through the middle, touched on, and the pressure is on from Morton. Way by McCoist. Sullivan will rifle in a shot, and Walker didn't really seem to know where that was. I don't think he made much of an effort to go for it. That couldn't have been all that far away. Robertson, there's a bit of a wrestling match going on. Robertson does well to come away with it. And that's a free kick now. It's getting rather tousy. Kenny Hope will have to take a firm grip of it again. The long one on from Clinging. Oh, deceived everybody. That's Holmes, does that delightfully, and there is Walker. And Rangers have come through, even on a cold day, a very torrid spell. Goalkeeper certainly twice hasn't known where that ball's been going. There's a long one, Duffy can't pick it up. Oh, very good play by Doherty. Took on the 2 Rangers players. Still has an excellent play by the defender, and away he goes. And Rangers lacking that kind of spirit at the moment. Dope. Great spell by Morton, there's Clinging. And I think there was a touch, but the last touch by the Morton player, it's a goal kick. Straight through to McDonald again, he's on his own, finds Cooper, drives it in and well beyond McCoist. Will be hard put to get it, but does. Wanted somebody with them. Rangers get the corner. Quickly taken, Cooper, now McCoist. Neatly judged, away by Welsh, been very good in the air. And if ever Rangers needed a real driving force to inspire the side, it's now. Morton have several. We've seen it in the shape of Doherty in the last run, Jim Duffy always, and at this stage in the game, Rangers can't match that spirit. There goes Mitchell. Duffy comes in. And again, brilliant tackling by Duffy. Oh, that's a slack ball. McCoist picks it up. Here's McCoist. Here's Cooper. Fraser tries to pick it off. Goes wide. And it's a corner kick, and Rangers trying to fight away out of their, at times, rather depressed look, and they get that corner kick. Cooper now. McPherson gets a back touch. Fritz, still not clear. Fraser slides off his foot. And whatever criticisms we've had, and myself and other people have been savage in their estimation of this pitch, nevertheless, the game has been very gripping, very exciting. It's not what you would call a football match in strictly traditional terms. Cooper, Fraser, Mitchell, free kick, quite simply so. Fraser with it. There's a header, brilliantly saved. Oh yes, that was good goalkeeping. The goalkeepers must be very cold today, and yet that was full of agility the way he picked it off. McDonald, of course, is, when he's on his game, one of the finest finishers in the penalty area. That is really where his strength lies. I think he was looking towards Mitchell. Monroe. Mitchell. McDonald. There's a shot, and McDonald may not have finished off well, but that was a very neat touch by him. Awkward to get it round, flick it round the player, and then have a shot, which he achieved. Fraser again. Oh, given away by him. Fritz did very well to recover that. Sullivan. Well, if you're caught in possession like that, it could be dangerous for you. Now, Fraser. Another very hastily passed ball. Mitchell. Nobody in the middle for Rangers. Duffy picks it up. He's not only been playing well in defence, but as is usual, been very intelligent in his distribution. Clinging. Oh, it goes a begging. Can it be put back? It can't, and Walker finds it very difficult to get down on that. Gillespie getting that shot, and that's a very good save by Walker. No, it's not a day for Davy Cooper. Cooper has got to twist and dodge and weave and shimmy to be effective. Simply cannot do it in this surface. That's a free kick. Monroe going down the wing as Cooper, I think, will send it towards goal. Ooh, that was difficult, and why players are not going up in goalkeepers, I'll never know. There are obviously going to be a lot of mistakes like that. Interesting range through the middle. Fleming tries to get there. Ooh, and it's almost touched fast by Monroe. Rangers in a real tangle. That's the kind of ball, you know, get it bouncing and bobbling about that uneven surface. Get defenders having to turn, and you cause panic. Tom Sullivan with it. The header is on, that's the equalizer. Dougie Robertson, 3-all, snapping it as he did in the first half. 19.5 minutes gone, and look at that scoreline now. Well, Robertson, who used to play for Rangers, right in the thick of it whenever the ball's in the penalty, and look at the way he took that outside of foot. Walker with no chance. This is very interesting now. Cooper, neatly back. Fraser, much too strong. Doc missing out of that. Robert Pritz, putting that to his left foot, beyond everybody else. Fraser puts in the shot, rattled away. McKinnon is in. Neatly through to Cooper, brought down, free kick. And the tackling is now being done with more than usual commitment, realising how high the stakes are for both clubs. I think particularly for Rangers in the Scottish Cup. No disrespect to Morton, but Rangers would stand to lose an enormous amount of money if they were knocked out of this stage. So, right on the edge of the box. Fraser takes it. Cooper looked back at that, and I think it's a corner kick. Looked as if Davy Cooper was going to take that. In came Fraser, whistled it in corner. High and wide, McCoy's is out with a header! Just touched off the line. That could have won the game. Excellent corner kick. The header down there by McCoy just touched away from the line. Rangers with the pressure on now. Fritz. Still in. Away goes McDonald. Welsh. And I think the ball's gone over. We have now 15 seconds remaining. Here's Cooper. It's more like him, but whipped away by Doak. Right down the middle it goes. Looked like hands, but the referee says accidental. And there's a very useful ball. Out comes Walker. Does a kind of huddling action. And we're now into injury time, and in fact, we now move forward to a replay on Wednesday night at Ibrox, a game that certainly will take place because of the undersoil heating. And if I had to pick out anybody, it would be Jim Duffy of Morton, who in fact has won the Scottish Health Group's Mr. Superfit Award. And a curious coincidence, he has won the two Men of the Match awards in the last two occasions I've been down here. One of the best professionals in the game at the moment, and delighted that his team fought back so well to get another bite at Rangers.
Well, there we are, 6 goals in incredible conditions. Now, let me say right at the outset, I don't think that game should have been played. Now, I know a lot of people said to me afterwards when I made that point, but we got 6 goals, we got excitement. Well, you can get excitement and 6 goals in ice hockey as well. How do we judge whether a pitch is playable? Does it mean that after 90 minutes, because nobody has had a severe injury, that the game is all right, that it should have gone on? I don't think so. I think it's basically about skill, and I don't think the real skills were shown today. There was a lot of fortuitous, lucky play involved. I think 3 of the goals might not have been scored because of these conditions. Indeed, one Morton player who shall remain nameless said to me afterwards, if he felt the conditions had been perfect, they would have beaten Rangers. Now, I don't think Rangers would agree with that, but that's what it is. The players did feel. I can't name them, but they felt it was a farce. It went on. We got 6 goals. We got a much better game than I thought. I will certainly say that. I will concede that. But I don't think football can be played properly under these conditions. But the two teams maximised what they had. Now, may I say that I think Morton get most credit. How many teams can you remember who've given Rangers 2 goals of a start in the Scottish Cup? Team like Morton, and then come back and save the game? Well, they did it, and I think they get more credit out of it than Rangers. I think Rangers in the second half in particular lacked a general, somebody to inspire them. This is something they've really got to solve. They looked at times as if they were really back on their heels when Morton pressed the advantage and got the equaliser, and after which the game could have gone either way. But it ended in a draw, and of course the game will go to a replay on Wednesday night at Ibrox. That's certain to go on because of the undersoil heating there at the Ibrox Stadium. That should be a very exciting game, and I hope the weather abates so that the other cup ties can go on as well. The only positive result today was when Ayr United knocked Keith out of the cup. Ayr going on to the next round. Well, we go down south, and what a romantic